usually when someone fills out an online lead form, they're curious, but not like, I didn't want you to call me, like, call me. I was hoping you would just email me the information that I don't want to talk to anybody yet. I'm not ready.
Is that what you're finding, Jeff? Just curious.
About 20% of them are going to close, but the average agent is closing on what percentage of that?
Not nearly enough, I'm sure.
You see that gap?
Totally.
That gap is because they're not professional.
Yeah.
So we can either put it on the consumer to say, hey, do a better job of doing your due diligence to go
I hate
find
that answer, by the way.
No, that's not the answer.
I hate it as well.
I hate
It is
that
not the answer.
Yeah.
Right? Or we can sit back as an industry and say, here's the floor. Here's what this looks like. And that's why we start off with a schedule. Let's do what you need to do. And if you consistently do what you need to do every day, you're going to get the results you're looking for.
You talk about it privately. We talk about it publicly. This is the Real Estate Insiders Unfiltered podcast. Welcome again to the Real Estate Insiders Unfiltered podcast. I'm your host, Dwiggy, along with Mr. Crazy Uncle Keith.
That's me.
Oh man, we were having some fun with this podcast.
Yeah.
We went so far. We don't have scripts anymore, but we went down some really interesting topics of conversation. I might have gone on a soapbox again.
Yes,
happened
my
on a
favorite.
different subject.
Love it when you do that.
Tell the viewers and listeners what we talked about today, my friend.
Yeah, we had a great conversation. He told the story about how he got into real estate, and y'all, that alone is worth the price of admission. Of course, we don't charge for this, but he and his wife worked a total of 3 jobs between the two of them as he launched his career. Life is hard, so pick your hard and get to work was the overall theme. We spent more time on rapid fire because he had great answers. They've got 160-ish agents, a ton of transactions, 400 million in volume. We ran all over the place, which is usually the best conversation. We talked about the power of time blocking, his 3-2-1 method. You will love that. Make sure you got your pen and paper handy for that one. They have a full service end-to-end offering for their people, and he shares exactly the structure, exactly the tech stack. He even goes down to share exactly the social media that he approaches. You are going to love that section. Make sure you keep your ears perked for that. The problem with our follow through as an industry, the importance of systems, James going on a total rant, which was needed and necessary, and a whole lot more. You're going to love this episode. Put it in yours, kids.
Hey guys, imagine if the largest real estate search site on the planet told you what buyers were doing on their website. That's exactly what Zillow's 2025 Zeitgeist report is all about. And here's the deal. Home buyers are shifting. Outdoor space, ADUs, in-law suites, flexible layouts. That's what's trending on their site in 2025. Even lake homes are popping up in places they never used to. This isn't guesswork, people. It's real search behavior before people call their agent. To me, this is about positioning listings better, talking upgrades, and managing client expectations ahead of time. Go to Zillow Showcase, pull your local trends, and show up smarter in every conversation. Link to Showcase is in the show notes below. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Yes.
Thank you for putting up with Keith's and my nonsense in the green room, which for the people that have been on our show know what a bunch of idiots we are behind the scenes.
A little silly in the green room. It is.
It's the funniest green room I've been a part of by far.
Yes.
So,
Yes. We may not have much, but we got that.
I mean, realistically, we
room.
could just do a show on the green room conversations. We would A, be canceled, and B, it would be funny.
Yes. Both those things. Both those things are true. Yeah.
So, Jeff, we're glad you're here. I know we've had to reschedule a couple times. Apologies. But I would love for you to start just setting the stage for everybody. Give us a little bit about your background, speed round, how you got into this crazy business. And then we'll dive into a couple rapid fires, and then we'll talk about the team you guys are building and all the success you guys are having. So start there.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, James, Keith.
Absolutely.
Honored to be here. But overall, I think, my process is pretty similar to a lot of other real estate agents. I moved to California 6-7 years ago, got in the Honda. Me and my wife, we drove all the way out here and restarted our lives. I was going through a quarter life crisis. I was 25, 26, not knowing what the future should hold. But I knew I did not want to be the regional director of stores for US Polo anymore. And or that was where the future was going. Those guys looked very unhappy. Real estate agents looked like they were killing it, and it was a great career. And what better place to go and try it out than in Hollywood? So I came out here for a wedding. The groom was getting married. That's his job, to get married. But he was
That's
a
how that
broker.
works. Yeah. Yeah.
He was a broker, and over a couple of old fashions, he was like, "You'd be great at this," and I believed him.
So wait, time out. Sorry to interrupt, but the groom at the wedding was recruiting you to real estate at his own wedding.
At his own wedding, while I lived in Orlando, and then
Dang,
somehow
Always be closing.
ABC, baby.
Closing.
ABC. All right, keep going. Sorry.
No worries.
Are they still married? No, I'm just kidding.
No, they're not.
Way to go, Keith. 2 minutes in. There it is.
I got out of here.
Wow.
He was paying me more to come out here and help him with systems and operations for his, micro team that he was building. And, that lasted a couple of months before I was like, wait, this might not be a good fit. You have a lot of holes that you need to fix in your business model. So I went off on my own, got my real estate license officially, and started working for a RE/MAX where I met my partner, Jose. 2 years later, he was like, hey, I'm going to do my own thing. He went and did it. He was like, hey, I'm doing my own thing. It'd be great if we can kind of partner up and crush it. And, history's been, moving in the right direction since then.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
I
for
got a
you
question.
guys.
So, not about the guy recruiting you at his wedding, because that was amazing. But so you come out, this guy, he sprinkles the magic real estate dust in front of your eyes. You're like, yeah, that sounds great. And then you get here and you're like, ooh, that's not what I thought. How, you're in a state that you haven't lived in before, I think, or new to you anyway.
No
a few
family,
people,
no friends, no
right.
anybody. Zero.
But you stayed. I find that really interesting. You didn't just be like, well, I guess I'm going back to Orlando. This didn't work out. You stayed. Walk me through that thought process where you were in California. This deal is going sideways. Doesn't look like it's going to be a fit. And then yet you decided to stay and have grit and commit to it. Was there, what happened there? That's an interesting part of the story I want to know.
I think I spent a lot of time around older people in life. Yeah. And
I feel attacked. I'm just kidding.
You saw older.
I saw you look right at me. Yeah. You got older people like you. No, keep going. Yeah.
And what I realized in life, you're going to have setbacks, and you all have choices, right? So in those moments, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's all roses, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right after we moved out was when I found out, looking through the books, that, this doesn't seem like a profitable business, and I don't think you could actually afford me. So I'm going to do the friend route and actually step back. But he didn't force me to come out here.
Gotcha.
He gave me, it's like
he
the
gave
book,
you an
The
opportunity,
Alchemist.
but you made the choice, right? Yeah.
I made the choice. So I was already here. I can run home when there's a problem, or I could buckle down and find a route. So that's what we did. I worked for a company where 4 o'clock in the morning, I would go pick up boxes and package their supplies that they sent it out. The wife worked 2 jobs, and we made rent until we were able to, it took 6 months after that to even get the real estate license. And I got plugged in to an office where they didn't hire rookie agents, and aced the interview, got in here. They give you call these, locked up my first appointment before I even had my real estate license, and partnered with an agent. And then we, the first year and a half, sell 80 transactions, save 50% of that, all those funds, even at a low, significant lower comp, to be able to to be able to help finance the Power Real Estate Group when that opportunity came about. So everything was about the decisions you have to make. Those tough decisions, the easy decisions are easy. The tough decisions about keep going. And I have a great support system back home. I knew that if I went home, all right, cool, I would have to just start all over. It'll be a couple of months, but that's the easy route. It's easy to quit. That's the easy part. It's easy to, this isn't working out, I only have one option. No, you don't. You have multiple options. You just, choose your heart.
I love it, man. That's, first of all, thank you for sharing so transparently, because very few people share my wife had 2 jobs and I had one at 4 a.m. while I was launching my real estate career, right? Most people just want to show you the after picture, and your willingness to tell the truth. Cause I promise you, there's someone listening right now who needed to hear that. And wants
to quit right now. literally,
Yeah.
like right now wants to quit.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like there's
yeah.
someone right now that just heard your voice who may decide to stick it out because you did. So, and if we don't keep sharing those stories, a lot of good people are going to leave the industry.
I have a follow up on this, and then we'll dive to the other ones, just because we're digging on this. What is the mindset that how do you put yourself into the mindset of not quitting? What's the process you go through, like in the morning, or to be able to have the courage to keep facing the obstacles versus just going the easy button of I'll just go home and have a safety net and start over again? Like, is there anything that you can share on how you think about that to keep forcing yourself to take the hard road over the easy road?
There's a part in the movie Troy when where Brad Pitt is sitting on the horse, and he looks down and he's basically telling him, this is why they won't remember you.
Yeah.
Right. And that part resonates because we get to all write our own stories. It's my story from my perspective. And the things that I'm able to overcome are things that no one will ever be able to take away from me. These are things that I'm going to be able to pass on to others, from me, or just that come into contact. So I think making sure that my story has as much grit. Grit is ironically one of our core values. It's because life is hard, not real estate. Life is hard. 87% of businesses don't work out, not just realtors don't work out. So we think all these things are happening to us, and a lot of these times they're happening for us. So for me to be able to want to be successful, I know exactly what my life would have looked like if I would have went back to Orlando. I know that I would have been welcomed with open arms and I would have been comfortable, but I didn't want to choose comfort. Like, I want to choose my definition of what greatness looks like. And that is, continuing to move forward. And I'm at a place in the life right now where it's like, there's a quote from Michael Jordan. It's hard to win. It's hard to eat when you're full. Yeah. When you're talking about, how many what's the first championship's not that hard. Right. That
to be motivated, right? Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool. What else is there? All right, cool. You got to go find new mountains to climb. And, I think that was that mindset. Like, I remember walking to the car and I was like, I'll be back. I'm going to go for a walk. And she'd be like, where are you going? I think she already knew, but I was going to cry. I was going to go sit in the car and I was going to cry and I was going to get it out and I was going to come back in with a plan. But I couldn't, as a leader, I wasn't comfortable enough as a man in my own vulnerability to cry in front, because I got us in the situation and I'm going to get us through the situation, not necessarily out of it, because out could be any way, but we got to go through the storm. Yeah.
That's awesome. I think the quote from Troy was, that's why no one will remember your name, right?
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to go. Like, you got to do things in order for it to echo through history. We're getting a little poetic now, but in order for it to echo through history, it's got to be memorable. And
it has to be memorable.
And in order for it to be memorable, there has to be strife, there has to be struggle, there has to be resistance, there has to be a conquering that happens as you go through it. So it's really awesome. I'm gonna go to the first rapid fire question, and I'm getting good at this podcast thing. So watch this segue. This is pretty good. So your story, I was reading Jocko's book, Extreme Ownership, over the weekend because someone mentioned it on a podcast, and decided I'm going to skim that one. So I wasn't really reading it. I was just sort of skimming through it. Your story. Yeah, you got it somewhere. I believe
it's in here.
Yeah. It's a great. By the way, we've mentioned it before. I like the book a lot. If you get a chance, you should read it. So, since you're a reader, favorite book or podcast this year and why?
Or last year, by the way.
Yeah, or
just
whenever.
Yeah.
Favorite book or podcast. I'm big on the books. I think I dived really hard into Fix This Next. So first I dived into Profit First.
Okay, that's a great one. Yeah.
But the Profit First resonated to a lot of the business owners and the people who were having that. Then I went to Fix This Next, and we recreated, and that's what we built our business plan off of for the agents. And what I mean by that is there's pyramids in life. There's, and what the pain points that we have, I think a lot of people are focusing on in the wrong sections. So for instance, right now, each one of our agents had to go in and figure out exactly how much they needed to make to run their business. And then from there, I had them figure out what was the first bottlenecks that they had and obsess about that for a quarter.
Right.
People think they have to solve all these problems. No, you just need the one biggest problem.
Totally.
And just focus that and run a quarterly business. And you're hiring us at Power Real Estate Group to help you manage that problem.
Yeah.
So an objective, how are we going to measure it? What is the frequency? And what is our contingency plans when we start to get off rail? And for our agents, they're crushing in the first quarter. We've locked up, and I had them start the previous quarter to bring out the framework of it. So our January, we've opened more transactions in our January than we did in our January, February, and half of March. And it's because of these habits that we took over. But you'll realize that most people in this business, they're just in a big fog. Yeah. So I would have to lock it in on Fix This Next.
I wrote that down. I haven't read that. I will buy it today. But
it's a good book.
It triggered, imagine if you married that, and I haven't read it yet, so this is unfair, but if you married that with the book, The 12-Week Year, I don't know if you've read that one, right? Yeah. Where you get the benefits of, instead of looking at things in 12 months, you do it in quarters. So you get 4 pushes a year instead of one big push, right? If you married those two things together, that could be something really interesting. So,
and if you're badass, tie in, sorry for that.
No, that's okay.
In, the 10X is greater.
Yeah.
That one. And then, Benjamin
Jeff and I are going to start a book club. Yeah. Oh, Scale. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good combo. So just to double click on that for a second, and then James, I promise we'll let you go next. But
that's great.
So Fix This Next. Is that like you just have one? Like, what is the most important thing? Like maybe it's calling your leads or your sphere of influence or your warm leads, but you just sort of lock into like, if I do this every day, then the rest of this will take care of itself. Is that too oversimplified or
simplified? That is it.
Yeah.
So what they had to do, they had to figure out the beginning of the story and the end of the story, right? So the beginning is, what do you need to make to live? The end is how, so what I had them do was break it down. Say, hey, you need $100,000 to live. If you make 120, you're living comfortably. That's an extra almost $2,000 a month. Let's add 30% to that. And now that 30% that you add into that is what you're going to use as growth fund to feed in, to make sure those open houses get as many buyers as possible, to make sure you're constantly being able to run ads. Are you actually retargeting? But first you got to take, you worried about retargeting when you don't have enough leads.
Right.
So let's go all the way back. Or even
worse, you're worried about what font you're using. Right. Instead of just send it and then call somebody or get an open, whatever. Oh, you are okay. Jeff and Keith's book club coming to you in 2026. I don't know when, but
let's do it. I'm in.
Yeah. James, you got a rapid fire?
I do. We're going to do this one quick because I want to make sure we get into a lot of I just want to make sure we get some of this other stuff done, but I kind of got a guess. I'm not going to say my guess, but most influential person in your life and why?
Oh, most influential person. My mother. My mother is my most important and influential because of the lessons. So we grew up a little bit different. I have an older brother who's 7 years older than me. I have a younger sister who's 6 years younger than me. Older, 7, 6, yeah. And we had to do certain things that were non-negotiable, right? So my mom is a certified nurse's assistant. So if anybody knows the medical field, she's the one that's actually there taking care of your grandmother. It's not the nurse or the doctor.
Right.
But she worked a minimum of 3 doubles, that's 16 hours a day, a week. And then she worked at 2 jobs. So she was probably, this 60, 70 hour work week life is normal for me. Right. So she never complained, but she needed non-negotiables. So we had to learn how to cook early. We had to learn how to clean early. She was not coming home to a dirty house. She would be at work by 7. If she got home at 11, dear God, she's banging on pots. She doesn't care about your exam tomorrow. You didn't take care. And all of these things were a compounding factor. And in our conversation, she always talked to us like we were adults.
Yeah.
I can't ever remember being talked to like a child. And growing up, I used to be like, why? But she was preparing us for life. She used to say, the world is out here to eat all of you. And she would look like all
Dang,
three of
Mom.
us are sitting, like
Dang,
sitting
Mom.
there on the couch. And my brother's getting it the worst because he should know better.
He's the oldest.
And then I'm getting it. And so, I couldn't
She
read
gave you the
until
drive and the grit
Yeah.
that you talk about to be able to succeed in life. That explains the whole now not going back to Florida. Not because you're scared of mom, but she actually
But a
gave you
little
the-
bit, though.
Well, I mean, maybe a little, but more you have the tools to face those fears and overcome those fears because she instilled that in you in your childhood. So
she would often say, the worst thing a man can lack is ambition. Right? So, like, I didn't understand these quotes as a child.
Right.
I didn't understand them until I was actually in it.
You know, it's funny you said that. I was watching Keith knows I've been really deep into AI. I'm more fascinated. Keith and I are on very different tracks on AI right now. Keith is all about like implementation, understanding what it can do and all of these things. I'm very philosophical about it right now, and I'll be on the same journey with him soon, but I'm really like fascinated about what it will do long term and how it affects society. You just said something that was so interesting. I was watching a interview on Diary of a CEO and about how one of the biggest concerns that we're not having in this country is job loss, specifically to men, because men without purpose or ambition are very dangerous. Meaning, like, if I don't have a path or a purpose or plan and I don't have anything to do, that it can have a very interesting psychological effect on them and society in general. I found that fascinating because that resonates with me. I know the three of us are probably similar. Like, we're very ambitious people, and I wouldn't know what the hell to do with myself if I didn't have ambition or purpose. I don't know. Does that make any sense at all? It like resonate at all? Just curious.
1,000%. And it even starts with how the very first question I ask an agent. So I'll purposely walk through an agent's onboard and be like, why are you here? And when they get hired, I'm asking you, who do you work for? And they'll be like, Power. Nope. Zillow. No. Real brokerage. Nope. You work for yourself.
Yeah.
What do you want out of this? Because if you don't see something bigger, I'm not looking for employees. I'm looking for partners. Right? I'm looking for people to go do amazing things with and help. What does greatness look like for you? And how can I help you achieve your greatness? And within that, our greatness is accumulation of everybody else's.
Man, that is a really good opening conversation. Talk about confidence and shifting that entire conversation. It's not about recruitment. It's about a partnership towards a goal.
Well, and it has the massive benefit of being true.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Because
You're
they
authentic.
are going to be the one to have to do it. Like, you can create an environment where they can be successful. You can give them the shovels and the tools that they need and the tech and everything that they need to be successful. But at the end of the day, I just hit puberty right in the middle of that sentence. You hear that? At the end of the day, they've got to do the work, right? Like, that's just how that has to go. So I think it's a really great way to frame it up. All right. We've gone really far without asking you just your team size, how many agents, 2025 production. Just give us some ideas, size and scope and production.
Team size, I think we're right around 150 to 160, depending on the week. And last year we did right around 560 transactions and about 400 million, 712, 715-ish per transaction. We cover a large area, so not sure if you're familiar with California, but we cover from the desert to LA area. And so price points vary from 400 to 1.1, 1.4, 1.5 as the average, depending on the location. One of the things I'm proudest of with our team is the year over year per agent productivity increase. So year one, it was 1, year 2, it was 2, year 3, it was 3, year 4, it's been close to 4.
Can't wait for year 10.
Yeah. So, and that's what we were really obsessed about. And that's why we try to set the standards when we're coming in.
How do you hold that standard? How'd you get from 1 to 4 in 4 years, right? How did you get that one deal a year agent? Is it accountability? Is it mentorship? Is it sticks and carrots? Like, specifically, what do you do to get agents into production?
I think it breaks down into the day, right? And it's not a one thing, it's a combination of things. I believe agents should be focusing on what we call the 3-2-1 method, 3 hours of prospecting, 2 hours of follow through. It's not a follow up. No one wants to be followed up on. And then spend an hour actually learning something. There's enough people and enough systems and enough we've created this ecosystem where you can go and learn how to go do something within our ecosystem. And that will lead to 2 hours of being in face-to-face with clients and being able to provide value.
Just to double clear, it was 3 hours of prospecting, 2 hours of follow through, not follow up, 1 hour of learn something. That's what I heard.
Yep. There goes your 6 hours. And that 6 hours should compound into 2 hours of face-to-face time. And then we're training you on the face-to-face time to be able to increase your percentage of getting someone to sign a buyer's contract or to sign a listing agreement, and then being able to deliver on that. But the system and ISAs and VAs and team leads and everybody is the mortar between the blocks that the agents are building within the system.
You know what I love about that is, as an agent, I remember when I was selling, all my buddies knew I was the guy with a flexible schedule. So they would reach out to me and be like, yo, I've got tickets to the A's game today, 105 first pitch. Do you want to go? And every time I was like, yeah, I want to go. But I remember thinking, like, how do I know when my work is done for the day? Right? Air quotes. Because you're never done. There's always one more call, one more email, one more whatever, right? So you've given them the, hey, you do your 3-2-1, then get it done by 1, go to the A's game. Right? Like,
go home.
Yeah. Go do something fun. Like you've eliminated that. You talked about my language, not yours, but the fog of war of real estate, right? What do I do today? How do I know when I'm done? And you've given them that structure of you've completed your task for the day when you get your 3-2-1 done, right? It was really smart. Really smart.
So let's go into that. You were just touching on it. Talk to us about the structure of everything. You mentioned that that's what they need to do. Then there's the structure inside your organization. So you said ISAs, like what is that? How does that look like from your business? How does it all operate?
So
is everybody on their own? Like, is there an actual like lead team? Like, what does that look like? Yeah. Everything
is structured and systemized up. So my job is we have different companies that serve the power universe is what we call it. So we have a transaction coordination company. We have a videographer, marketing, updating. We have straight marketing lead generation company. And then we own our own virtual assistant company. And then all of these companies work with other companies within our area as well. And then so we hire from our companies to serve. So I can tell when there's a problem and I can, get ahead of it. So it's me, I have to oversee, spend a day in each one of these, go through the meetings, send over, focus on the bottlenecks and move forward. Jose handles all marketing, right? Making sure that there's hand raisers, making sure that the video, the editing team, that we're front and centered, and that keeps us safe, right? Then we have Diego. Diego manages all of our virtual assistants. And our virtual assistants are, from the recruiting standpoint, but specifically on the ISA side, calling our database, nurturing, following up. And my big thing is like, get the agents to do it. And then I'm always forcing, but then, or just create a system where we can plug somebody in. And then what does the agents actually want? Appointments. Now I have less time training on forcing them to make their $50 a day to be able to hit their goals, but more time focusing further down the funnel on listing presentations and converting on that side. But the agents all have team leads. So we have 3 different office locations, and then we have 2 to 3 team leads in each office. One is great at sales, one is great at ops, and one is teaching and training, one's holding the accountability to be able to, row in synchrony and go in the same direction.
Sure.
And then they all report to me. And every week we go over their agents' numbers, who's doing well, who do we need to work on, who is just not a great fit for this program, right? And or what can maybe it's not this lead source and they would much rather work on their, social media. Who can they go under mentorship to help them actually generate revenue from social media? So that's how we basically run the entire team. I have an operations manager that makes sure, everything is connecting to everything and all communications. We utilize Slack as a system to make sure everybody everywhere is, communicating correctly, because I believe communication is a problem with all relationships. So if there's a problem, it's probably happened between communication channel.
Go deep on the tech stack part. Talk to us about the tech stack you guys utilize internally. So you got Slack. Like, what else is that you guys are using to manage the entire business operation?
Well, we'll start off with Follow Up Boss. Everything runs through Follow Up Boss.
Okay.
And so from Follow Up Boss, we have on the TC side, we have open to close. And, there's a 2-week sync in there. We're able to see all of that, but we also push it over to our dashboard to where I'm able to see real time. So through Looker Studio, where I'm able to see real time.
What's it called?
It's called Looker Studio.
Looker Studio.
And we build this for our executive assistant clients, in Sidekick as well. So
is that a proprietary software you guys built?
No, it's through Google.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Like we build this out.
Yep.
We have another one that, agent dashboards coming. And that one is pretty dope. I think, David Keener and his team over there is going to be, we've been working with them for probably about a year now. And, here's what I like to see. Here's what I like to see. So that's going to be coming. It's already here, but I think it's going to be more of a, everybody's going to be plugged into it pretty soon. Slack, open to close, and Follow Up Boss. That's pretty much Real Scout. All of our agents use Real Scout to be able to, stay in front of our clients, communicate on that side. And that's really the majority of the tech stack.
Good. Keith.
Okay, sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So my memory is you guys do a fair bit of social media, that you're good at it. It's something you teach your agents to do. Can you just walk through, if someone is listening right now and they wanted a social media get started plan, right? How would you recommend they think about and approach social media specifically for getting business, not getting eyeballs, right? Like, I mean, I don't mean to, you might say, yes, you should do TikTok dances, but I don't think they should, right? But so what do you have them do?
The very first thing that we have an agent do is identify their ideal client. Because
you mean start with the audience you want as opposed to, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then gear everything around that. So majority of the time they're just doing it because John is doing or Robert's doing it. But who are you talking to? And so we're building out special niches, and how can you provide value to that special niche? And we're building it around that aspect of it. So from there, we take them in and we'll sit them down with a Claude and talk about their ideal client and help them build their,
just in case someone doesn't know, because I know someone does. What's a Claude?
So Claude is, well, you know who ChatGPT is.
Yes.
Claude is the better writing version of ChatGPT.
Really, Keith?
Look, someone listening, I'm sure is like, is that what is Claude?
Who's Claude?
Yeah.
And then, so we have them build everything around who their client is and what they should be speaking to. And then being strategic about how much content they're pushing out. So what is the objective? How many leads so you're not going to know what your numbers are for 90 days. So can we help you create a 90-day marketing plan? Not a posting plan, but a marketing plan. So who are you talking to? What do they want to hear? Where are they at? And how many different frequencies? I try to have everybody read the book Oversubscribed. And in that book, it talks about being oversubscribed, right? People need to see you multiple times before they become a hand raiser. You have to be able to build trust within the arena or the world that you're trying to build. Why should they trust you? So all of these different things, I think most people where real estate's dropping the ball is people who aren't trying to recruit are making things directly for agents so that they can get a high five at a conference. And it doesn't make any sense to me, right? Who are you in this business for? I know why I do certain things that are talking to agents. I need 50 more because we just got a new lead platform, or, we have too many leads and not enough agents. For you, it might be talking directly to your audience. That's where I was.
Let me ask you this. I've been out looking at property. I'm going to go on a soapbox. Sorry, Keith.
Oh, these are my favorite. Get ready, audience. Go ahead, James.
I've had the most frustrating experience as a buyer.
I love these. Go.
I inquired on multiple listings, texted, emailed, never heard back from the listing agents. Finally did 3 days later on one of them. I'm not going to call this agent out. I hope you're not a listener, but this agent should be fired. We set up an appointment to tour the property. I go to see the property, and this agent never shows up to the appointment that she scheduled with me after 3 days of not actually even acknowledging that I existed as a buyer. Didn't do the research, not to be egotistical, like even look up who I was at all. Like maybe that would be a smart idea to do. And then ghosted me in front of the house. And I say this like as somebody who runs a big company with a lot of agents, and I'm sitting here going like, if this is the kind of shit that buyers are experiencing. And then my friend Jack Miller goes, 50% of all inquiries today are never followed up with in 2025. That's the T360 study.
Yeah.
I don't, you're telling me about follow-up and like all these things. What do you do to solve that? I'm putting you on the spot to make sure that the consumer isn't getting that shit experience from agents. Does this frustrate you? Like I see you're getting, yeah. What are your thoughts, Jeff?
Control your controllables. So when a opportunity comes into our database, right? So I always tell, we're not in the real estate business, we're in the data business, and how you manage that data is important. Data, the transaction happens in real estate, but this is when I put on my data hat. So an opportunity comes in, and I don't know who this person is or where they're coming from, but it's very important for us to make sure that regardless of the agent doing it, within 2 minutes, they're getting a text message or an email. And it's like, hey, thank you so much, Jeffery Mcgonigle, Power Real Estate Group. Thank you for inquiring, right? And then from there, if the agent hasn't done an act, our ISAs are bonused on their opportunities for what they're taking.
Interesting.
Right? So I'm rewarding their ability to, because everybody wants to be liked, and not everybody wants to be respected. And for me, I'm like, hey, you guys are in the respect business, not the like business. Like business doesn't get to pay, right? So when it comes down into this, so they go in and they will call, and we have a secondary group of agents that we know are just the dogs of the dogs, and they're going to stay at the top of the leaderboards because they're already doing the right things. And we will take an opportunity from James and, hey, Keith, I got another one for you. All right. And Keith will call. And most of the time the ISA is calling, setting up the appointment, moving it over before James gets to update their database. I tell agents the same thing. To go find your mother or significant other in your phone takes the same amount of steps as clicking on the thumb icon versus the phone icon. Typing in their name or pinning it, it takes the same amount of steps. So if you're telling me you can't do it, sorry, man. I wish you the best.
I got to follow up on this because you're making me like, this is it. I've been, so I've been wanting to stay away from this conversation, but screw it. I'm going to do it anyway. I made another comment on social media where I got ridiculed by half the agent group.
I know which one you're
where I was like, I feel like you're listing your lead as a really stupid comment, and it's a stupid thing to state, but let me back into that. I think it's a really bad thing if you don't have a team and a process. Am I wrong on that? Do you feel like that there's a balance between teams' abilities to follow up with leading like online lead gen versus solo agents? I'm not trying to get myself back into a corner here, but I'm trying to figure out how as a consumer, and I'm very focused on this right now, how do we make the experience for buyers and sellers better? And I feel like it's broken. Where I'm literally out looking at property to buy a house, and I'm having the most god awful experience with some people, and then others are like on it, and I noticed a trend between the two. I found that teams tend to be very quick with immediate follow through. And I've sort of noticed the solo agent might be slower to respond when my impatience level is on a very high number. What is your thoughts around any of that? Not to put you on the spot here.
Oh, no, I'm screaming from the mountaintops. I'm seeing that a lot of lead generation companies are trying to go directly to the agent, and I'm telling them I'm going to short their stock. And the reason why I'm going to do that, is because you're not out here working with them. You were never one of them. And I'm both, right? I know what it takes to be a successful agent. I know what it takes to be a successful agent on a team. And I know what it takes to run a successful team. each one of those is a different mountaintop you got to climb to.
Yeah. So podcasts are interesting. We know I tend to take the other side of things just for fun every once in a while. Look, there are really shitty real estate teams out there too that don't follow up. So to say that the line of demarcation for professionalism is team or no team.
I didn't say that.
No, I know. Neither one of you.
And I
really
wasn't saying that either. I just was trying to notice a difference. I've noticed a difference. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I just think you've got good people and less good people. And I think you've got good teams and less good teams. And none of you, if you're listening and you're a real estate agent, I think we got to stop calling them leads and start calling them clients or humans or whatever, because the agent who won't follow up with an online lead is the same agent who will immediately call back a past client, right? Because they have this sense of connect. They're brilliant humanists and below average salespeople, right? And so that online lead feels like rejection. I text them, I emailed them, they didn't respond. It's an 8th grade dance all over again. No one likes me, right? Fine. But if it's a human on the other side and you remember that that's someone's sister, someone's mama, someone's cousin, that's a human being who wants information, which agents are great at providing human beings information to make an informed decision. It's what they do all day. But somehow, because there's maybe more rejection or a lack of just because they aren't responding, it's because they're not ready yet. That doesn't mean you're a bad person or a bad agent, right?
You're talking about the buyers or people that don't respond.
I'm talking about
frustrated with them.
You're filling out online lead inquiry forms at the very end of you're much further down and much more decisive than the average human, right? Usually when someone fills out an online lead form, they're curious, but not I didn't want you to call me, call me. I was hoping you would just email me the information that I don't want to talk to anybody yet. I'm not ready. Right. That's most online leads.
Is that what you're finding, Jeff? Just curious. Or is it, what is your experience with them? Just for context, since you're doing this every day.
About 20% of them are going to close.
In what time frame?
12 to 18 months.
Right. Yeah. So 18 months, right? But
the average agent is closing on what percentage of that?
Not nearly enough, I'm sure.
You see that gap?
Totally.
That gap is because they're not professional.
Yeah.
So the consumer, we can either put it on the consumer to say, hey, do a better job of doing your due diligence to go find.
I hate that answer, by the way.
No, that's not the answer.
I hate it as well. It is not the answer.
Yeah.
Right? Or we can sit back as an industry and say, here's the floor. Here's what this looks like. And that's why we start off with a schedule. Let's do what you need to do. And if you consistently do what you need to do every day, you're going to get the results you're looking for.
I just know, man, that I'll just simply say this as somebody who lives and breathes this. And like I said, I got a lot of shit for my comments, but I don't care. As somebody who's going through it, the seller deserves better.
Totally.
Because they don't know that the agent isn't doing their effing job. And as a buyer who's actually serious, don't make any assumptions at all, because you should be doing if you cannot respond for me, my patience level was within an hour. I expect a response. By the way, it was a 3-day weekend. So what do you think buyers are wanting to do? Go tour freaking houses, right? Mm-hmm. I just worry that this reputationally is now that I'm back into buying a house again. I haven't done it in a while. I'm just going oh my God, it's 2025 and we're still dealing with this.
Yep.
I think what's going to happen in that scenario is the good are going to get more.
Mm-hmm. Mm. That's a great comment. It's a great comment.
Because with AI and all these other systems, these great agents are going to be able to build better systems and all right, cool, I did 50. I'm able to take on 75 clients because I built a system around me. Yeah. And then it's going to be the vice versa. So on a team standpoint.
Keith, take us home. I know you've got the question. Right, I'm really excited about Jeff's response on this, by the way.
Me too. Yeah. So we ask everyone this at the end. For agents or team leaders who want to build something at scale, what's the one piece of advice you would give them?
The one thing, my friend, Doctor Strange.
Oh.
I'm on the Avengers.
Align your focus.
Ooh. Okay. What does that mean?
Right?
I
think for teams and does everybody know what the goal is? And are you reminding everybody in every conversation and asking everybody to ask the question, how does this align with the goal?
That
way, go ahead.
No, that whole do your job thing, right?
Do your job.
Know what your job is and do it every time.
Yeah. So in our office, we have a saying, we have sweaters that they printed out with my name on the back. It says feelings aren't real. I don't care if you feel like doing it.
Can I get one of those in a 3X? You got any of those in a 3X?
No,
What?
I got you.
Why? Yeah, holla. Okay, I'll text you my address.
And I'll tell you the reason why we say it. It's not because feelings aren't real. It's just that so many times humans are trying to trust their gut, and your gut doesn't know anything about business.
James, how many times? Yeah,
moving too comfortable.
How many times have you heard me say how you feel is a horrible indication of what you should do in business?
Yeah, you're making me want to get a size tall anorexic. Send one my way too. So
it's awesome. I mean, it sounds like it's
legit.
It sounds so cliche. You do your job, right? Like, yeah, duh, right? But sometimes we want things to be so complicated because if they're complicated, then I don't have to do them, right? But if they're really simple and I know what it is, well, then I'm out of excuses or reasons for my why I wouldn't do it. And so what I love about that is you've boiled it down to its real essence. And then you just hold them accountable to the essence. It's really smart.
Jeff, man, thanks for sharing your wisdom. And awesome. I genuinely, I say this all the time, but I really mean this. I loved your story and how you stuck with it. And that whole, it's almost like I could see you in the car, deciding to go drive back or stay. And in my brain, I was experiencing that with you. And congratulations for making that decision to go through it and all the success that resulted from that decision. I'm sure your mom is and your whole family is really proud of you. So genuinely.
I could see Will Smith playing you in your movie about you. And he goes to the car to have a good cry before he comes back out to dominate.
Yeah, I gotta find somebody for him to slap in that.
There's that.
We'll get Chris Rock to be a bad online lead, and then he can just slap the mess out.
No. The leads aren't bad. It's the
he'll be an unproductive agent.
I want it, but I don't want it. Get out.
Thanks for being on the show, Jeff. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Good conversation.
We'll talk soon.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks.
You.
Yep.
Don't make that rookie mistake. Subscribe now. Be the coolest person at the water cooler. Wait a minute. Do we even have water coolers anymore? Who wrote this?